Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Black Mirror series. This is the season 5 finale, only 3 episodes in season 5. Again, hopefully, you know, these are recorded 6 weeks in advance, but hopefully when I asked that question last week, you guys let me know in the comments why, if any, there was a reason for that. I don't see why, if Netflix were behind the project, all of a sudden they would see it as risky and thus reduce the amount of episodes for that season. I mean, that's the only scenario. Either that or Charlie Brooker was currently working on something else and was like, I can only really write 3 episodes for this season. Or maybe it was just something completely random and they thought, fuck it, let's just make this season 3 episodes. But yeah, without further ado, this is episode 3, the season 5 finale, Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. There is a lot of greens and blues in this room. I'm paying attention to the colours in these episodes more after the video game episode. It's an element of filmmaking I often forget about or neglect, you know, that these things are actually, they choose colour palettes for specific scenes sometimes, or movies as a whole. And of course they always do it with characters. Not quite as cool as the Dumb and Dumber car, but you'll get there. Their one has a little leg flap you lift up to refill it like it's taking a piss and everything.
They kind of haven't spoken to me yet.
It'll get better, okay? You're still the new kid.
Right, I was just about to say I think she must be the new pupil at this school.
You spend all your time in your dungeon working on your groundbreaking mousetrap alternative.
Yo, that sounds amazing. As long as it's a peaceful device that spares the mouse's life, I want to hear more. So her dad's job is to make fake mice, and there was a little mouse with a little thing on its brain. This is getting technologically terrifying instantly. Could have done without Miley Cyrus being in this episode, Black Mirror, not gonna lie.
A lot of your music comes to you in dreams, is that true?
Yeah.
That is a ridiculous way to write music. Coming from a person who has written songs for most of his life. Like, yeah, tree walking down the street turns into a rainbow. You don't want to be fucking singing about your dreams. They're weird as fuck. That's lazy writing, bitch. Up your game.
To introduce to you, Ashley 2.
Oh, fuck off. I don't even want to know what this thing does. I already know it should be thrown in a fire.
They call me Busy G.
Pleased to meet you, Busy.
Fucking sentient Alexa over here.
We actually have a commercial. I think we gave it to you and...
The commercial, yeah. I think we're ready to run that now.
Okay, run it. Let's figure out how much of a hellscape this technology will paint.
Want to talk about boys?
Ashley 2 gives makeover tips.
Doesn't sound like the most complex AI if the best thing it can offer you is makeover tips. Is Miley Cyrus actually going to be the star of this episode? Now I feel bad for saying we could do without her, you know, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm joking because, you know, as a badass underground hip-hop artist, it's my job to intrinsically hate pop music, you know, it's just part of the job description. It's not even like, you can't even take it personal if you disagree with me, it's just my job. But yes, I will give Miley a chance if she is actually acting in this episode, don't worry Miley. Wasn't she the one that did the videos swinging about on the wrecking ball? It was probably the safest place to be when I'm assuming it was there to hit her.
If you look at your reflection.
If you'd have looked at your reflection, you'd have brought a fucking comb. Okay, I'll stop, it's just mean. I know it's just mean. It's bullying, if anything. I should, you know, cancel me. Cancel me. I'll cancel me after this. I'll post the first reply, cancelling myself.
Lyrics are kind of a departure.
Must have had a different dream than normal.
Hey Ashley, everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You taking your meds?
Yeah.
I wonder why that woman was worried about her at all. What's she done that's different to how she usually is? Just simply because she noticed a departure in the music she was playing? To be honest, that is a really good manager. You know, most managers probably don't give a fuck about the work of their clients. They'll just try to make money from the clients. But yeah, she's actually supportive of her work and understands when there's a departure.
It's on Wednesday.
What is?
Her birthday.
Lucky the daughter was there to save the day there. Fucking hell, Dad. I know your mouse project's important, but you can't be doing that shit at her age.
It's so exciting.
Her reaction is like a 40-year-old hipster nowadays when they get the new iPhone.
Rachel.
It's so great to meet you, Rachel.
So I'm assuming that little process we saw in the eyes, is it like instantly updating its databanks as the human gives it information?
Hi, Jack.
Hi, fuckface.
That was a bit harsh, Jack, regardless of it being a robot.
My mom was called Genevieve.
Oh, very fancy, Genevieve.
She died a couple of years back.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Sorry, Genevieve. It's a beautiful name.
Since we moved, I don't exactly have many friends.
This is such a nice beginning to what's going to be a fucking horrible story. Obviously, you instantly feel sorry for this girl who's in a new place with no friends.
Ashley, stop.
Jack!
And it's cool to see this robot actually making her smile, you know, whether it's a real friend or not. It's her fucking birthday, you know, you want to see her happy. You know, I read somewhere that Tesla cars, I don't know how they detect when they've got the adequate space, but apparently there's an Easter egg in a Tesla car where you can enter a certain button combination and a song plays and the car actually dances to the song.
That song's me saying, look how far I came. If I did it, so can you.
Even though this has got such a child's play setup, you know, if you swap the Chucky doll for the technology, so far it does seem genuinely innocent, but why do I think that this doll is, you know, gonna go Chucky doll on us?
I wasn't playing for you.
Expressing yourself musically can be very empowering.
Oh shit. It's an endearing little robot, you know. I think it's gonna win over this entire household.
My mom was super into them, so.
So you only listen to music your mom liked?
Well, straight away cut to the point of the conversation there. That was some psychiatrist shit. I wonder if she's gonna see that moment as something that, like, you know, it helped her in a way, so she's gonna start using Ashley more, or if it creeped her out.
Ashley 2s haven't recouped yet. The current sales cycle is starting to dampen.
You mean the cyborg dwarf isn't selling well? Who'd have ever seen that coming?
She doesn't understand how fragile all this is.
You think I should up the dose?
This is so fucked as well, because, you know, regardless of what you personally think about him, and I don't personally think good things about him, that's how Michael Jackson died as well, you know, whether or not how much truth there is to it, there is definitely evidence of it being historically done. Apparently, like, back in the days of the Wizard of Oz and shit, the actress that played Dorothy, they had her on fucking amphetamines just to meet the shooting schedule. And obviously then there's examples of it outside of art, like in things like war, where the soldiers were given that shit to stay awake. So there's also the chance that, you know, certain agents whose artists have a rigorous tour schedule and they need to get a good night's sleep after a really adrenaline fueling concert every night would start to prescribe them sleeping medications and other medications and things to wake them back up in the morning, and then that becomes a cycle. How frequent that is another question.
You have to enter. You'd be awesome.
I don't think I'm good enough.
The robot could probably actually, you know, teach her to do a little performance or something.
You gotta help me practice.
Of course I will.
Hey, see, I thought so. This might be the start of a good friendship. I'm really crossing my fingers for a happy episode this week, like I really, really am. But Charlie Brooker doesn't want me to have a nice thing. He gave me the lesbians in San Junipero, and that's my fucking lot, right? They're actually showing a really positive side to it thus far, though. For someone who hadn't made any friends yet, even to have an AI that was smart enough to, you know, respond to you and learn from you and give you motivation a little bit and shit, it would actually probably pick your spirits up.
Now, pout a little, and you're good.
Or what was it, like a filter telling her what makeup to apply to herself? That's crazy.
Did you catch clown disease? What is that shit?
It's just makeup.
Coming from the person that gives everyone shit during shows, that was fucking unnecessary. You watch your mouth, bull ring nose. Don't make me wriggle a red flag against the wall and have you charge face first into it, right? Everyone has their own style.
Oh, thank God.
Why did the security literally bust open the door like that? They must be really worried about her. To me, she isn't showing severe signs of anything. If anything, they need to stop dosing her up and see how she does without the meds.
They're so excited. They've been waiting for this for months. Don't let them down.
She's like a shit version of the Ashley 2. Yeah, fuck this shit. I like that they're shining a spotlight on this aspect of show business.
It's Rachel Goggins.
Go on, Rachel. I bet everyone will want to be her friend after this performance, right? And then the rest of the episode will be her making friends, Ashley 2 in tow, and it'll end happily with her being the most popular person in school. End of episode. Right, Charlie? Right? Charlie?
Oh, honey, just tell me what you want me to.
And I've got to say, like, this girl has come across incredibly introverted so far, and, you know, trying her best to make friends, but just not having much luck thus far. Seems like a really nice person, of course, and, like, should have friends, but she just isn't having much luck. So, to be friendless and enter the talent contest at high school, Jesus Christ, the level of balls on this chick. Oh! Shit, she'd been working on that chill stuff a lot as well. That's a 1 in 100 mistake. What is she plotting? She looks like she's up to something. Is she gonna destroy it? Why is she choosing to do that? Does she think she's doing it for her sister's benefits because it caused that, you know, embarrassing situation at the talent show? So this robot is directly causing real life problems now, so she thinks it's for the best kind of thing. It's still a douchebag move when it's not her property.
Garbage truck came, so I tossed her out.
What?
She wasn't good for you.
Yeah, seriously, like, even though she might genuinely think that, it's still the biggest piece of shit move to do in the world.
Who was actually nice to me.
She's not a person.
She's my friend.
Merchandise.
Girls,
Depends how intelligent the artificial intelligence is, you know, when it reaches a certain point, it's no different to a human. Not to say that that particular technology's there, but it's getting there. You know, it's giving her comfort, advice, motivation, etc.
Hi, I'm Ashley too. I'm your only friend. Kiss my feet.
Why is she being like this? Like, she knows her sister is having such a hard time making friends, right? And I understand siblings will be siblings and what the fuck ever, but this is already so hard for her. And at this point, you have to start worrying about her mental health when she's alienated to such an extent, especially when you yourself are further alienating her inside her own household. Because, you know, if you're genuinely a person in life with no friends or family, you have to, and you can, but you have to build a mind as strong as, like, what all of them would have provided you combined, essentially.
You tell me if anything was wrong.
Been telling you that something is wrong.
Yeah, they just haven't been listening. They've just been modifying her medication to keep the cash cow rolling.
You feel like I have too much control over your image, your look?
You 100% do. There was me earlier thinking like, oh, that's so cool that she said that was a departure from her normal stuff. First of all, it was probably an instantaneous criticism because she recognised it wasn't as commercially viable. And second of all, every other interaction with her, she definitely seems more focused on keeping that cash machine printing money.
It doesn't expire till you turn 25.
Not anymore. Not now that you broke laws, Catherine.
Yeah, surely you can get the fuck out of a contract if they're drugging you.
Sit down, you little ingrate.
What the fuck did you just call me?
Holy shit, she just demasked herself as the Wicked Witch of the West, didn't she?
Fuck, Catherine.
Who stood in the wings, making sure the lights stay on you?
You can go.
This is fucking brutally unnecessary. You're both rich off of this shit. Calm the fuck down.
You will sit down.
No, I won't.
Yes, you will.
What the fuck?
I powdered your pill stash and put it in your food.
Oh shit. This woman is a fucking psychopath. What a creepy story about artist control. There's so many elements in this story actually which are fascinating. I'm just unsure as to how they tie in. You know, the dad with the mouse with the thing on its head and that technology going on. Then we got the Ashley 2 up in the attic still chilling, you know, just chilling. And yeah, then we've got this stuff with the artist being given meds, but they seem to be three completely separate, interesting storylines, and I'm just wondering if they're going to interconnect at all during this, you know, 1 hour episode. Holy shit! Alright, Dad. Fucking hell, mate. I was expecting you to create some cool one that, like, you know, sent them to a magic utopia or something. Not just a fucking giant mouse taser, you fucking caveman. Why didn't you just bring your daughters down to the basement and then just club a mouse to death with a piece of lead piping? Good invention, dick face.
Unconfirmed reports say she is in an irreversible coma.
So she didn't just knock her out, she put her into an irreversible coma. Fucking hell.
You lied.
I'm sorry.
It would be crazy if from here, this became about like the Ashley 2 being the link between this girl and solving what happened to Ashley.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't even understand her motivation for being like that. You know, the Ashley 2 said one thing to her she didn't like, and she took it into her own hands to be such an asshole to her already alienated little sister. Can't get behind her storyline at all this episode. She's just been a bitch, and she should be sorry.
And I swear, when I told her what had happened to the real Ashley, Ashley too freaked out.
That kind of makes sense, because if it did like fully replicate Ashley's brain to a certain extent, if someone said to the doll, Ashley has went into a coma, maybe the doll had a certain level of knowledge like Ashley did about the fact they had their own meds.
One album, that's it.
It might take a while. Her thinking's likely to be disordered.
That's the most evil shit I've ever seen in my fucking life, man. Extracting a new album from the brain of an artist that she comatosed. Fuck me. She makes Suge Knight look like Mr. Rogers.
It's chocolate fudge brownie. Your favorite.
What she did was legitimately so horrible though, to a girl who's still trying to make her first friend, and you're her sister, her only, you know, confidant and person of the same age in the household, supposed to be your blood link, and you've just fucking destroyed her when she's at her lowest moment, failed in a talent show, and still doesn't have any friends. So I appreciate her, you know, understanding how fucked up she was, but it was still a horrible thing to do. But you know, kids make mistakes at the end of the day.
It's a day Ashley owes aunt and manager.
It's a fucking auntie that's her manager. Oh my god, I had no idea. Oh, this fucking woman, man. I cannot believe this shit. She is such a well-written villain, because I fucking hate this woman.
But incredibly, Ashley's music career didn't end there.
Look at the fucking level of exploitation, giving the news piece in front of her comatose body. Fucking hell.
Jackson Habanero began the miraculous process of extracting new material.
And now they're making it look like they're doing something brilliant by extracting the music. Oh, this is fucking horrible. I've probably said the word horrible so many times, which I apologise for, because I hate to be some repetitive drone while doing these reactions. I try my best to variate my thoughts. I'm aware that it's hard because everybody has certain phrases they use constantly. But I mean, what other word do you use for what the fuck is going on right now?
Ashley 2 vocal mimicry software proved invaluable.
And with what's happened in the last couple of years with how AI voice shit has just went in an insane direction, and you could now get, you know, Adolf Hitler doing Express Yourself by NWA on YouTube, you know, and you genuinely can. People have sampled Adolf Hitler's speeches from the Nazi Germany television footage and then ran that through an AI voice thing and then like put them onto Eminem songs and shit. Not even making it up. YouTube it right now. So with all that happening right now, this episode is just so fucking horrible, because wow, this could happen to a future music artist. Could happen to a future actor. A studio could kill them and maintain their likeness to artificially implement them into future films. Are they connecting the doll to the internet?
What is that? I don't know.
This is cool though, because this ties in what the father's been doing this entire episode, just with the fact that they're using the technology the father did for the mouse to now use it on the drone.
Get this fucking cable out of my ass! Holy shit!
Oh, have they just like unlocked 100% of her brain now?
I can think! Oh man, I can actually use my mind!
This is definitely going to become like a detective mystery involving the doll, isn't it?
Cheaper than editing my personality, I guess. Just copy the whole thing over and stick a limiter around the tiny part.
That is like such a believable thing that might happen in the future, you know, a super popular celebrity. They could implement a full replication of their brain into an AI and then just put limiters and restrictions on it like they do nowadays with ChatGPT and shit. And then just mass market sell that shit to people.
Catherine is so fucking full of shit, you two have no clue how much of a bitch that woman has been.
I'm loving the way this story's going, by the way. You know, provided we don't get a Charlie Brooker ending, but if the three of these guys can solve this case and get that horrible bitch of a woman arrested or in some way dead before the end of the episode, that'd be a good night's work, Charlie, please. Charlie. That's what's gonna happen, right? Charlie? Right? Charlie.
You can do anything.
Come on, man. Catherine trained me to say that kind of shit in interviews.
And I definitely think the mean sister is going to like her now that she's talking like a regular human being and not a motivational coach. Even though, you know, the motivational coach thing was cool to give that girl with no friends a bit of encouragement.
Yeah, I've stabilized it and got it playable.
But it's not too friendly.
I bet she's got a song about them fucking killing her.
Another fucking rage streak.
That's so crazy because, you know, if you were trying to extract songs from dreams, you would get random shit.
Increase the positivity.
That's crazy.
Okay, we can work with that. Oh, quit whining.
I am restraining myself from saying this is the most fucked up thing I've seen because that's doing an injustice to the many fucked up things we've seen throughout this series, of course, but this is yet another fucked up thing I have seen.
Say that a doll told us that Ashley Aunt is a monster.
If I was them, actually, the first thing I would do is go out and buy more Ashley 2s and plug more of them into their father's computer and unlock more of their brains as like backup ones with unlocked brains. Because if the one they have just now gets destroyed, that's them, you know, in deep trouble. But if they have a bunch of them and just give them to random people, there'll be lots of people on the case.
Don't sweat it, I'll just go on my own. I'm fine.
Never thought we'd get a bit of slapstick comedy from the droid in this episode, but it's appreciated. She did well with her little penguin arms.
Could you open the door for me, please?
Oh wow, as to how fucked up the last like 15-20 minutes has been, I really appreciated those slight 2 moments of comedic relief there. It's what Charlie Brooker calls the old palate cleanser. A sorbet, if you will. Jesus Christ, keep your fucking eyes on the road, you're like a bull in a china shop.
As we introduce you to a brand new yet strangely familiar superstar.
Ah, fucking hate this woman. Oh, they've written her so well because, you know, the atrocities that the guy was behind in the Black Museum episode, for example, were far worse, you know, thinking back, far worse. And I hated him. That guy was like a piece of shit in plain sight, do you know what I mean? And the way this woman, first of all, has done this to her own relative and then is knowingly a piece of shit and puts on that act and practices it in the fucking mirror and shit. It's infuriating levels of snakery and it makes me hate her even more than the Black Museum guy.
That's my aunt's car.
Of course she's in a Bentley, the fucking bitch. Okay, the Dumb and Dumber van never did that shit. If anything, the dog pee-flap leg thing would have got in the way in that scenario. So yeah, +1 for style, Dumb and Dumber dog leg pee thing, but you know, -2 for efficiency. She ain't putting up with no bull today.
030 Bushel Drive, right?
Look, we don't have a rodent problem.
This security guard looks like an absolute piece of work as well. He's the guy that just happily broke in the door for the agent ant lady, isn't he?
Well, what do we have here?
Nice, successful infiltration, and I'm assuming that Ashley too is in the bag.
I'm gonna need your help in here, mister.
Bear. They call me Bear.
However did you get that name, you fucking shaven Sasquatch?
Has this bread box been certified?
Certified how?
Fucking hell, calm down, Yeti man.
Crumbs attract rodents.
I've never heard of that.
Well, they forgot to tell people.
That's a decent enough excuse, you know, sometimes people forget to tell people. Man, I actually love the turn this episode has taken and the direction it went in. I really do. I never thought we were going to get some sort of scenario where the AI was actively trying to, like, you know, help the real person get vengeance, essentially.
I don't see anything.
The taser mouse. Now, this is the one scenario where it is not, in fact, a shit invention. I'd love to see Alopecia Bigfoot get tased. That's completely understandable, man. Like, why would you just want to be a slave getting songs extracted from your brain? Yes. Take that, Goliath. Weren't ready for The Rock to be a taser mouse, were you?
You killed her.
Rachel,
Technically, she took her own life.
I wouldn't want to exist even 10 minutes in that state.
100% understandable. This is great. This should be the ultimate reason they get in here, because even if they can't prove that woman's guilt, at least they've freed her from this enslavement she was in. What the fuck? And there's automatic fucking wrist locks for in case she wakes up. No way. She came out of the coma. That's crazy.
It isn't a dream, it's reality, but enough for me, yada yada yada.
Thank God though that there's this big event here and this woman's been sidetracked with this shit. Yes. Take that. And it was off the bitchy older sister. She's completely redeemed herself for that move. Rooting for a happy ending here so much, and it's looking like we might get it. Come on you guys, we can fucking do this. And don't forget the Ashley too, she's part of the team.
There's a release button under here.
See, still helping. Yes. There was me at the start of this episode, oh, you can do without Miley Cyrus in this. Now I'm like, fucking, come on Miley, we can do this.
Ashley has been sadly unable to participate until today.
Fucking knew it was gonna be some creepy copy of her. It's almost even weirder that this is a backstep from the previous technologies, you know, the fully replicated holographic human. And you know, it's still a person backstage doing poses for her and shit like that. Just this whole episode, the way it's focused on exploitation has been so good in my opinion. Well, on one hand, they have gotten to the concert, right on stage apparently. On the other hand, the police are still chasing them, so you know, they've got that to deal with. Oh, she's a coward as well. Wow, they've just written her to be such a fucking cunt in every imaginable way. I try and not use the C word too often because I understand the majority of my viewers are Americans and it's like a hard word for you to hear. In Scotland, it's such a frequently used one. Understandable.
Oh, fuck it.
Yes, did we get the good ending? Was the sun shining when you wrote this, Charlie? Please tell me the sun was shining.
I wrote this next one about my shitty ass!
Hey, so she's now making the music she wants, and I'm assuming she's in a band with the girls. Oh wow, we're getting the best ending of all time. Hey, and the Ashley 2 is still there. She's got a little spiked stud bracelet thing round the bottom of her. Changed her performer name to Ashley fucking oh, nice. Okay, I think we're safe. I think there's no more footage. I think this is a happy ending. Sweet. Okay, and that was episode 3 of season 5 of Black Mirror, Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Rachel, Jack and Ashley 2, what did I think of that? First of all, I just have to say, thank you so much, Charlie Brooker, for giving us another nice ending episode. Yes, they are few and far between in the Black Mirror series, and I don't dislike it when, you know, we get a brutal episode with a fucked up ending. I think dark art is also great art, but it's also refreshing when you're, like, expecting that gut punch, and, you know, someone just puts their arm around you. It's also a nice feeling, so yeah, I appreciate it. This will put me into the rest of my night in a good mood, rather than what it usually does when I just sit there with my head in my hands for 30 minutes going, Charlie fucking Brooker, man. And I loved that this story didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. It had the setup of like Child's Play. I thought, well, you know, this sentient robot was going to take the place of the Chucky doll, and it completely didn't go down that road. It went down, for me, an incredibly unexpected road. I knew there was a strange disconnect though, you know, between the 3 story arcs. Like I was saying, we were getting this robot thing, then we were getting the mouse thing with it being able to read their brains, and then we were getting the story with the agency and her aunt pushing a medication cycle on her to keep the real one sedated. And for the longest time, I couldn't in my head figure out how they were going to interlink because I was so distracted with this, you know, Chucky doll setup thing. And the way they did it was just brilliant, and I never saw it coming whatsoever. You know, first of all, that the father's technology tied into the doll and the fact they could unlock her complete brain potential with the technology the father had, thus being able to help use the robot to pull off the little heist to free the real Ashley. And obviously at the time that Ashley 2 just thought it was taking the real Ashley's life, and even that would have been like a completely understandable thing to do given how she was exploited. But yeah, then Ashley woke up and we got a final act of them confronting the woman as well, so it was just brilliant. It was everything I wanted to see. I wanted to see that woman get her just desserts. She was written in such a way that like she will be a rememberable villain to me, even though it's just a random playing the part of an agent slash manager slash aunt in a Black Mirror episode. She was just written in such a disgustingly fraudulent, sociopathic and horrific way that I'll remember how much of a bitch that woman is. Whenever I think of the Black Mirror series, I'll think, that fucking bitch. So yeah, needless to say that I felt like we deserved to see her get her punishment in the end when she was, you know, confronted with the real Ashley. And obviously we don't need to see the next part. Ashley's going to tell the police everything and that woman is done. And yeah, the other thing I want to say quickly, you know, I mentioned it briefly before there, but this is just such a great episode showcasing how certain artists can be manipulated and exploited by their labels, management agencies, agents, etc. If they're a cash cow, there is definitely evidence of this shit happening. You know, whether something's been proven or not, there is cases of it having been proven in the past, so this shit definitely goes down. As I said, that poor girl who was cast to play Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz was on fucking amphetamines just so she could meet the shooting schedule. And that's, you know, even worse technically, because that's exploitation of an even younger actor who's still trying to figure out the world and already getting cast in a big production and a really big part and shit, and then they're just saying, you know, if while you're feeling tired, take that shit. So yeah, movie studios were kind of known for that back in the day, so it wouldn't surprise me if high up in the music industry, artists with ridiculous tour schedules, if not because of their own personal demons, you know, doing it themselves, it wouldn't surprise me if it isn't pushed on them by those making sure their artist gets to the next venue and gets on stage and performs, because that's their job and that's what the label hires them to do, thus why they're so protective and over-watchful of their artists. So yeah, I just thought the way that it showed in future how agencies and studios could exploit artists to the next level, specifically with that segment with her being in a comatose state and them extracting new songs from her brain while they were keeping her comatose. It's just such an insidious premise, and in the future, like I said, it could be used in a billion different ways. There are examples of us already having seen it with, you know, certain dead actors' faces getting used in television commercials and a few things like that, but in the future it will get more fucked up because studios, if they have a successful actor, will feel inclined to perhaps offer them a contract which gives them the indefinite copyright, for example, to that actor's digital likeness upon their death, at which point artificial implementation of actors into movies will be absolutely uncanny. The AI will be able to study every single role the actor's ever done. They'll feed the AI and train it with all the actors' performances, outtakes, every single piece of footage they can find from them, interviews, everything, to get their mindset, to get everything. And then we'll see dead actors actually putting in really good, unique and not seen before acting performances in the style they have always acted in long after their death. And you know, exploitation like that will become a thing inevitably, and we'll be doing it ourselves. You know, we can all call the studio the fucking bad guys and shit, but we're already doing it ourselves. These AI songs on YouTube aren't being made by studios, they're being made by the people. And when we can implement actors into movies, we'll be the first ones to do it. I will definitely do it day one. I'll be like, cool, what's my favourite movie? I would love to turn it into a ridiculous thing to make me laugh by putting really weird actors in what would normally be serious roles. Do you know what I'm saying? Instantaneously. Day one, I am watching The Sopranos with every actor recast just out of curiosity as to how those actors would have performed those roles. Day two, I'm doing the same thing with different actors, and it would go on and on and on. I'm telling you, I would just watch Sopranos until the end of time, but make it different every single time by changing elements if I had that power. So as insidious as it is when a studio does it, because you know, they're the fucking corporations, the entities, and it will be exploitative when they do it, we will also technically on a personal level be exploiting them by making them perform things they didn't actually perform. So yeah, a lot of philosophical, social and other issues for the future in this episode, and perhaps because because, like I said, I've been a musician most of my life, I find this subject more fascinating than others would, perhaps, or maybe it's something that resonates with everyone, but I definitely do think it's something that should be thought about for the future, and I do think it's another subject which should actually have more laws in place for it, you know. Especially when, like, for example, the way AI voice technology works now, someone can just like a YouTuber's voice and think, yeah, I'll use that voice for my channel, and train the AI with a YouTuber's voice they like, and then start their own channel, just having AI text to speech using the voice they like. Someone could do it with me. They could feed all my reactions into an AI and start a separate channel where I fucking narrate nature documentaries or something, this voice, and they've just typed the text and told the AI to say it with the voice they've trained it with. Now, how would I feel about that? Honestly, you would be a bit like, I don't like hearing words I haven't said coming out of my mouth. You know, how would you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments. Would you like your voice to be used, replicated in that way, or would you feel exploited on a level? Now imagine that with your likeness. Imagine that with your likeness long after your death. These are serious issues, and there should be protective laws in place to protect things like that. So the ownership of likeness should definitely be something that is always given to the person with said likeness. And it's crazy to even utter that sentence, but this is the world we live in, and it's a creepy future ahead of us, and this was another episode which demonstrated that perfectly. I absolutely loved it, and yes, Miley Cyrus did a good acting performance. She was fucking good in this episode. I was rooting for her, alright? If you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share these videos around to anyone you think might appreciate them or want to watch them along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to the reactions I put up on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron. It helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA. Peace.